Hey, I'm Mia Giovina, and you're watching The Music Enthusiast.
Hi, I'm Sarah from The Music Enthusiast, and today I'm here with Mia Giovina. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. I'm excited to be here.
Of course, I'm excited to talk to you. I'm so excited for your new single to be released.
Oh, thank you. Me too.
Do you have a fondest musical memory?
Um, I don't know that I do just because music has been in my life for my entire life. I just grew up around music because my parents are both very musical. My dad was in a band when he was younger, and my mom was actually a dancer, so she would dance in all the musicals and everything, but on the side she would write a lot of poetry. And then kind of when she met my dad, she realized she had been writing song lyrics her entire life. She just never knew how to put music to them. But so they actually write songs together now,
So
which
cute.
is really cool. And they've been doing that for a while. So I grew up around that, and they would just I feel like my whole life is just a musical memory, because just every memory I have is linked to some song that my parents would play in the car or in the house or something. So yeah, I think my whole life is just one musical memory.
So beautiful. So, music was always the main thing you want to do with your life?
Yeah, absolutely. I think there were some times when I was 11 years old, I got really into YouTube, and I really wanted to be a beauty guru. I wanted to be the next Bethany Moda. I was like, this is my calling. But, I feel like besides that, from a very early age, my ultimate dream was to be like Taylor Swift. That's just what I've always wanted to do.
I think we all had that YouTuber phase, doing hauls and makeup tutorial.
Definitely. Definitely, pretending, to do a haul or a tutorial, and, there's just no camera there, except I would have a camera there. I would use, my dad had, a BlackBerry, iPad or something, I don't know, it was weird, and I would, steal it from him and record these tutorials that I would, never put anywhere. But, yeah, I think we all went through that phase.
At least you never posted them. Me, I
I know.
like grade three, I was doing Walmart hauls,
Oh my god, amazing.
but that's nowhere to be found anymore.
Dang.
You're releasing your debut single tomorrow. So, how are you feeling? What's going on in your mind right now?
I am You know what? I'm actually calmer than I thought I would be. I thought I would be freaking out, but I think more than anything, I'm just excited for people to finally hear it, because it was such a long process to make the song. Just because I think this is my debut song, and it's my first time ever professionally recording anything. And so kind of just figuring that out for the first time, figuring out the right people to work with, what I wanted my sound to be, stuff like that. It was a very overwhelming period of my life, but now that it's over, it's now I get to do the fun part of watching everybody react to it and stuff. But yeah, it's been a very good day so far. I just found out this morning that I have the song Sirens. It has almost 4,000 pre-saves already,
Oh, that's
which is crazy, because when my manager told me that, she was trying to make me guess. She was like, "Guess how many pre-saves it has." And in my mind, I was like, "Okay, 50." And then she was like, try 4,000." I was like, "Oh, okay." So yeah, to see the song isn't even out yet, and it's already getting that kind of support is it's very fulfilling for me. But yeah, I'm very excited for it to just be out in the world and for people to have it.
yeah. Congrats again. I
Thanks.
heard the song. I got an advanced streaming link. I think it's absolutely beautiful.
Oh, thank you so much. That makes me so happy. Thank you.
No problem. When you posted it on TikTok, did you expect it to sort of get that popular?
Not at all, because when I it was my first original song to really ever get any kind of attention, because when I posted it on TikTok at the time, I was only known for like the rewrites that I would do of like, you know, like Harry Styles songs or One Direction songs or whatever. That was like my brand, which it still kind of is my brand, but like that was what I was known for on TikTok. And so whenever I would post like little snippets of originals, they would just always like flop and it would just kind of like discourage me. I was like, dang, okay, people just don't like my original music. So when I posted it, like I didn't think anything of it. I was like, okay, this is just going to be another like video that doesn't get a lot of attention. Um, and then I think I was trying out like this new method on TikTok where like you post a video and then you like close the app and you don't go back on it because then it's this whole thing where like TikTok wants you to like come back on the app, so they'll put your video on the For You page so that you get more notifications, so you'll be more likely to open the app. It's like whatever. I was trying out that method, and so I hadn't been on TikTok in like I think like maybe 12 hours or something. Like I posted it and then went to sleep, and then I woke up the next morning and my manager started texting me and she was like, people really like your song. And I was like, what do you like, what does really like mean? And she was like, like 75,000 likes really like. And I was like, oh my god. And so then I finally went on and I started like looking at all the comments and everything, and like almost every single one was like, please release this. And I was like, okay, like I will. But yeah, it was very much like a shock to me, but it was like the best shock ever.
Definitely. And I know that Sirens wasn't such an easy process.
Hmm.
So, did you ever have any thoughts like maybe I should give up on this, maybe like come back to it another day?
Yeah, so I like partially why it was such a long process was because like when I first wrote the song and posted it on TikTok, I only posted I think like maybe 30 seconds of it because that was all I had written of the song at the time. It was just like a little idea that I wanted to record. So then when everyone was like commenting like release this please, where's the full version, I was like, girl, I don't know either, like I don't have a full version. And so I think it was kind of like I was, you know, it was taking me a while to finish the song just because like I already loved what I had so much and I knew people loved what I had so much that I was like kind of scared to like mess up the rest of the song, if that makes sense. Like
Yeah,
I already loved the verse and I was like, okay, the rest has to be like just as good. So I kind of started to hit a wall with that. But then like once I had the song written, then I was like, oh my god, I love this so much, like it's my favorite song I've ever written. And then like the next week it would be like, okay, this isn't even good, I don't want to release this. And then the next week it would go back to being like, this is amazing. Like it's just kind of, it was that back and forth. um but thankfully at the end, like right now, I'm very proud of it and I'm in the this is good phase. So yeah, it was definitely a stressful, you know, experience for me. And I think that also just like I think every other like musician goes through that. It's just kind of like you're your worst critic. And so it's just kind of that. But like I said, it turned out well in the end, I think.
I mean, aren't you glad that you didn't give up on
Oh, I'm so glad. Yeah. Yeah.
it? Like I said before, Sirens is such a beautiful song. I especially love like the dreamy harmonies. Wow.
Oh, thanks. Thank you. Yeah, harmonies are like my favorite part of songs.
Yeah, definitely. What was the song like before putting it in production?
The song was like, I mean, I think it's still like fairly stripped back, but before putting it in production, it was like extremely stripped back. Like it was literally just like, well, actually, it's funny because in the beginning, when I first recorded it, it was like just vocals and I think maybe guitar, or it might have been like piano at the time, and that was it. And I thought that that was all I wanted it to be. I was like, no, this has to be like a super acoustic, like stripped back thing. Um, I just thought I wanted it to be like that. And then I ended up finding this girl, Tiger, who ended up, I think she did like strings on this other girl's song that I saw on TikTok. And I was like, oh my God, that sounds so beautiful. So then I found the girl who did the strings and I ended up DMing her and I was like, I have this song. Would you maybe like try some strings on it? She was like, absolutely. And so when she laid the strings down, it kind of like completely changed like the sound of the song and like my vision of the song, I was like, oh, okay, wait, like I can see this going somewhere. And so for a while, it was just guitar, vocals, and strings. And I was like, okay, this is the final product. Like the strings were the final touch. Like it's so beautiful now. And then I think I had even already sent the track to the guy who mixed and mastered it. Um, and I was sitting in my home studio with my dad, actually, just like playing the song and messing around with it. And then I like started to add some drums to it. And I was like, okay. And then we added some guitar to it. Then we added some like bass to it. We started like adding like a million different things. And we ended up like sitting there for like 3 hours. And then it turned into this big thing. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank God we like had this moment of putting this all together, because like I can't imagine the song now without all of those things. Like I can't imagine it just being like a stripped back guitar song, because I think it's like I just think it's so much better with what it has now. But yeah, definitely like it's very different than what I initially thought it was going to sound like, but I'm very happy with the way it sounds now.
Yeah. I mean, I especially love how it starts with you and your guitar and it like builds up with like the rest of the instruments.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, that's what I was trying to do. I really love when music does that. I think that comes from a lot of like I did musical theater. Like I started doing musical theater when I was like 9 or 10 years old,
Me
and I
too.
did that. Oh my God, amazing. And so I did theater all throughout middle school and high school and everything. So like I like half of the music I listen to is musical theater. So I think like a lot of the reason why I like music like that kind of like builds and kind of like sounds not lyrically but like melodically sounds like a story and like a build up. I think that kind of like comes from my musical theater background. But yeah, that's cool that you said that, because that's exactly what I was trying to do.
Now, since I know that you've been a musical theater kid, what's your favorite musical?
My favorite musical, I think it's a tie between Godspell. It's a really random one, but I really love Godspell. I was in it when I was like I think it was like the summer before my freshman year of high school, and I didn't want to do it. I think it was just like a community production that somebody was putting on, and I had never heard of Godspell, and my mom had, I think, and she was like, "You need to audition for this. You're going to love it so much. You would love the music." And I was like, "I don't want to put on like be in a show about like Jesus." Like I just didn't understand it. And so I didn't want to audition, but then like it ended up being the best show I've ever been in. So I think it's a toss up between Godspell and then it's very basic, but Dear Evan Hansen. I saw Dear Evan Hansen my sophomore year of high school. I think when it like first like came out and stuff. Like I didn't even really know like who Ben Platt was other than him and like the Pitch Perfect movies and everything. Like I didn't know anything about him. And my one of my best friends, she said, "Hey, I have an extra ticket to this new show, Dear Evan Hansen. Do you want to come?" And I was like, yes, I do. And so then I went and ended up like crying the entire time. And like now I literally can't listen to the soundtrack without crying. So yeah, it's a toss up between Godspell or Dear Evan Hansen. I don't think I could choose.
Um, and I know this is pretty early to say because you're releasing your debut single tomorrow, but could we expect like a project sometime this year?
Yeah, so I think that I am about to start working on my next single, which I don't want to give too much away about it, but people who watch my TikTok or have been watching my TikTok videos recently probably know which song it is. But I'm about to start working on that. I think I'm gonna be able to get in like an actual like professional studio to work on this one, which is very exciting. So yeah, that's gonna be my next project that I'm working on, but I definitely want to start working on like an EP maybe sometime this year. I don't know. I don't know how long it takes to make something like an EP, but definitely it's my next single, and then the project after that will probably be something like an EP.
Awesome. Can't wait. This is sort of like a fun question, but if you could describe your music as an animal, which animal would it be?
Oh my God, I love that question.
Thank you.
Um, I think I don't know if this is like completely accurate or if it's just because it's like my favorite animal, but I think it would be a butterfly. I
Oh,
just feel like I resonate with like butterflies so much for some reason. Like I feel like I'm a really big believer in like, oh my God, everything is a sign. Like I take everything as a sign. And so whenever I see, whenever I see a butterfly, I'm like, oh my God, who is that? Is that like one of my ancestors? Like I just feel connected to butterflies. And I don't know, I think that my music kind of is like a butterfly because it's so like I feel like it has like this vulnerability to it and it's like kind of like fragile and beautiful and I think that kind of represents a butterfly. So maybe a butterfly.
I love that. And this is the last question. Our music website focuses on up-and-coming artists, so do you have any favorites you want to share?
Um there's this one girl from TikTok that she's amazing and I love her and people might already know her. Ella Jane. She is incredible. She is so good. I'm so obsessed with her. I think she only has like 4 songs out, but she literally is like taking over the world.
Yeah.
She's incredible. I one of my friends, Alexa Capelli, she has I think she has a handful of songs out. Her most recent release is Can I Come Over? And it's so good. I have played it, I have streamed it probably 100 times. It's so good. Um, and then I also have another friend, Amanda Julie. She just released a song called But I'm Lying, and I'm obsessed with it too. I don't know, there are so many, but those are like 3 of my favorites right now.
Awesome. I'm glad that you mentioned Ella Jane because watching her blow up is so amazing. I mean,
She is so cool.
yeah, I've been a fan of her for like I want to say a year or two now. Like I remember her messaging the blogs page, and she was like, "Could I like take over the Instagram page for a day?" I'm like, "Yeah, for sure." Like she only had I think the city out, her first single, and watching her
Yeah,
blow up is so amazing.
I know she's amazing because I think my manager might have texted me like maybe in the beginning of the year, like September or October, something like that. And she was like, you have to check out this girl on TikTok, Ella Jane. She's like blowing up and she's amazing. And I went to her TikTok and she was already following me. And so I was like, oh my God, like this is her. And so I followed her back and we like DM'd for a little bit. And I was like, you're so talented. Like I'm obsessed with you. But yeah, she's really, really cool. She's like actually going to take over the music industry.
For sure. And I was gonna say, like, she reminds me so much of you and vice versa.
Really? Oh,
No
that's
idea what it
awesome.
is, but
That's awesome. Yeah, I love her. She's awesome.
awesome. Well, thanks again. This was so much fun.
Of course. Thanks for having me.